Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The NFL world woke up today in absolute disbelief as the rumors turned into reality. SHEDEUR Sanders, the electrifying quarterback from Colorado and son of the legendary Deion Sanders, has officially signed with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, you heard that right. The kid who was doubted, criticized, and called just another college hype just inked a 4-year deal with one of the most iconic franchises in football history. And get this, he didn't just walk in quietly. No, SHEDEUR made his presence felt by absolutely dismantling the Cleveland Browns in his debut performance, turning Soldier Field into his personal playground. It was like he came out with a mission of vengeance, proving every single critic wrong. The Bears' offense, once considered stagnant and predictable, suddenly looked alive, sharp, and unstoppable under his command. His pocket presence, the timing on those deep balls, the calm under pressure, it was all there like he's been playing in the league for a decade. You could feel it in the air. Something historic was brewing in Chicago, something that could change the direction of this franchise forever. And the way SHEDEUR carried himself afterward, that signature confidence mixed with undeniable swagger, left everyone speechless. After the game, social media absolutely exploded. Clips of SHEDEUR's laser throws, his pinpoint accuracy, and his ice-cold demeanor on the sidelines flooded timelines within minutes. "This kid is him," fans tweeted in all caps. Analysts who had doubted his transition to the NFL were suddenly rewriting their takes in real time, trying to backtrack as the world watched in awe. But it wasn't just the numbers, though those were jaw-dropping too. It was the composure, the leadership, the calm storm vibe he brought to every snap. The Bears haven't had this kind of confidence under center in decades. For the first time in forever, Chicago fans had reason to believe that their quarterback wasn't just good. He was special. Reports say that even some Browns players were whispering post-game that SHEDEUR had them figured out before halftime. That's veteran-level football IQ right there. What's more, Deion Sanders was in the stands, smiling like a proud father who knew this moment was coming all along. The cameras caught that iconic grin as if he were saying, "Told y'all." What really fueled the fire, though, was how effortless SHEDEUR made it all look. There was no panic, no rookie jitters. None of that welcome to the NFL struggle you'd expect from a first-year starter. He looked like he'd been playing at this level forever, dissecting defenses and throwing darts with surgical precision. The Browns' defense, known for their aggressive blitz packages and tight coverage, had no answer. They threw everything at him: delayed rushes, disguised coverage, zone blitzes, and SHEDEUR just read them like a book. Every time they thought they had him trapped, he'd step up, slide right, and drop a perfect pass into the hands of his receivers. By the fourth quarter, you could see it in the Browns' faces. They were defeated. And as the Bears fans chanted his name, SHEDEUR remained composed, cool, collected, almost like he expected nothing less. That's the scary part. This wasn't luck. This was preparation meeting opportunity, and he executed like a pro. Insiders say the Bears' front office had been watching SHEDEUR for months, quietly preparing an offer that would shake the league. They saw the potential, the marketability, and most importantly, the leadership that could redefine their entire identity. Chicago hasn't had a true face of the franchise since the days of Walter Payton, and suddenly, with SHEDEUR's arrival, that drought might finally be over. His 4-year contract reportedly includes heavy performance incentives, showing that both sides are betting big on this partnership. The Bears are banking on more than just arm talent. They're betting on swagger, charisma, and culture shift. And the fans? They're eating it up. Jerseys sold out online within hours of the announcement. Kids across Chicago were out in their yards pretending to be SHEDEUR Sanders, throwing imaginary touchdowns while yelling "prime time" in honor of his father. This wasn't just a signing. It was a movement, a cultural reset for a franchise long desperate for one. What's wild is how quickly the locker room seemed to rally around him. Veterans who've seen a revolving door of quarterbacks in Chicago were suddenly speaking with a new sense of belief. Receivers were running routes sharper, the O-line was blocking with a different kind of pride, and the defense, inspired by SHEDEUR's calm dominance, started feeding off that energy. It's crazy how one player can completely alter the vibe of the team. And yet, with SHEDEUR, it feels natural. His energy is magnetic, his confidence contagious, and his leadership unmistakable. After the Browns game, teammates described him as the truth, someone who not only talks big, but backs it up on every snap. It's been a long time since the Bears had that kind of figurehead, a player who could command the locker room while captivating the entire city. The buzz isn't just hype, it's belief. And you can't manufacture that. Even the national media, notoriously skeptical of the Bears, couldn't ignore it. Talk shows spent hours breaking down every throw, every read, every moment SHEDEUR stepped onto the field. This is the start of a new era, one analyst said. Another compared his debut to Patrick Mahomes' early days, calling it eerily similar in confidence and execution. But SHEDEUR himself? He downplayed it all. In post-game interviews, he simply said, "I expected to win. That's what I came here to do." That's the mentality Chicago has been craving. Not arrogance, but assurance. And maybe that's what makes this story so captivating. Because it's not just about a rookie quarterback having a hot start. It's about a young man walking into one of the toughest markets in sports, carrying the weight of his father's legacy, and saying, "I'm ready." Behind the scenes, though, insiders say this move had been brewing for weeks. The Bears coaching staff reportedly held multiple private meetings with SHEDEUR and his camp, including Dion himself. They wanted to make sure this wasn't just a media play. They wanted commitment, focus, and fire. And SHEDEUR gave them exactly that. Word is, during one of the interviews, he looked the head coach dead in the eye and said, "If you give me the keys, I'll drive this franchise to glory." That quote, now leaked on social media, has already gone viral, becoming the latest rallying cry for Bears Nation. But it's not just talk. The film doesn't lie. Scouts have praised his mechanics, his pocket discipline, and his uncanny ability to make reads that most veterans still struggle with. This isn't a case of hype exceeding talent. This is talent meeting destiny, and the Bears are reaping the rewards. The deal, sealed quietly but announced explosively, marks one of the boldest quarterback acquisitions in recent memory, one that could redefine Chicago football for the next decade. And let's not forget what happened to the Browns in that brutal loss. It wasn't just a defeat, it was an embarrassment. Their defense looked confused, their secondary exposed, and their coaching staff outmatched at every turn. The memes came fast, the headlines even faster. SHEDEUR shreds Cleveland, the birth of a star, primetime 2.0. Some Browns fans even started joking that they became part of SHEDEUR's highlight reel for his Hall of Fame montage. That's how dominant he was. But beyond the scoreline, there was something psychological about it. A statement game that said, "I belong here." It reminded fans of when other greats first announced their arrival on the big stage. Brady, Mahomes, Burrow all had that one game that changed everything. For SHEDEUR, that came against the Browns, and the timing couldn't be more poetic. The Bears needed a savior. The NFL needed a new superstar. And suddenly, both got exactly what they were looking for. Inside Hallis Hall, the excitement is apparently off the charts. Coaches have reportedly redesigned entire offensive packages to better fit SHEDEUR's skill set. Faster tempo, more RPOs, and heavy emphasis on his quick decision-making. The Bears are finally evolving into a modern NFL team, one that plays to its quarterback strengths instead of forcing him into outdated systems. And SHEDEUR? He's loving every second of it. Reports say he's been one of the first to arrive and last to leave the facility, grinding film and fine-tuning every detail. That kind of work ethic, mixed with natural talent, is dangerous for opponents. Veterans like DJ Moore and Cole Kmet have spoken publicly about how different the energy feels. It's like a new chapter, Moore said in an interview. "We've got a guy who can lead us anywhere." You can't fake that kind of belief. And when it comes from your stars, it trickles down through the whole roster. But it's not just about football. It's about the cultural wave SHEDEUR is creating. The Sanders name carries weight, and in Chicago, that weight is turning into momentum. His swagger is making the Bears cool again. Fashion brands are already reaching out, endorsements are lining up, and the city's youth are adopting his iconic Watch Flex celebration. It's the fusion of entertainment, confidence, and excellence, something Chicago hasn't seen since the Jordan era. You can feel that prime effect spreading beyond the field. Restaurants are naming burgers after him. Sports bars are hosting SHEDEUR Sundays, and even rival fans are grudgingly admitting that he's the real deal. It's not just football, it's a phenomenon. And the craziest part? He's only getting started. Imagine what this team will look like once he's fully comfortable, once the offense clicks on every level. The league might not be ready for what's coming. Still, the story wouldn't be complete without a touch of tension. Some insiders whisper that not everyone in the NFL is thrilled with how SHEDEUR carries himself. The jewelry, the confidence, the unapologetic swagger. But that's what makes him special. He's not trying to fit in. He's rewriting the script. The same criticism his father faced decades ago is resurfacing. But just like Dion, SHEDEUR doesn't care. He lets his play do the talking. When asked about the haters, he just smiled and said, "They'll adjust." That's the energy of a player who knows he's built for the spotlight. And as the Bears continue to climb, you can bet those critics will get quieter by the week. Because when you're winning, and winning big, all that noise turns into applause. Chicago's got its quarterback, the league's got a new superstar, and the Sanders legacy just found its next chapter. If this debut is any indication of what's to come, then buckle up, because we're witnessing history in the making. SHEDEUR Sanders didn't just sign with the Bears. He changed the narrative. He walked into a city starving for greatness and delivered fireworks right out of the gate. He made believers out of skeptics, turned doubters into fans, and reignited a franchise that had been searching for its identity. For years might just be the beginning. If things keep going like this, Chicago could be looking at the start of an era, one led by a young man who carries not only the name, but the fire of his father. The Browns are the first to experience it, and the rest of the league should be on notice. The message is clear. SHEDEUR Sanders has arrived, and he's not here to participate. He's here to dominate. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. And if you thought the hype train was going to slow down, think again. The city of Chicago has gone absolutely wild since SHEDEUR's arrival. Murals are popping up around the city, kids are wearing his number in playground games, and even longtime Bears legends have started showing public support. Former players who once criticized the organization for lacking direction are now praising the front office for taking a bold swing that finally connected. "This kid's got it," one ex-linebacker said during a local radio interview. "He's got the poise, the guts, and the leadership that this franchise has been missing for years." You can feel the pride radiating through the city, from the south side all the way up to Lake Michigan. Chicago hasn't felt this alive since the glory days. And it's all because one young quarterback dared to believe he could bring the magic back. That's not just sports, that's storytelling at its finest. And SHEDEUR Sanders is writing every chapter in real time. But here's where it gets even more interesting. People close to the Sanders family say this was all part of a bigger plan. Dion, Coach Prime himself, apparently had been mentoring SHEDEUR not just to be an athlete, but to be a brand, a leader, and a symbol of what modern sports excellence looks like. Insiders claim he told his son years ago, "You don't need to fit in. You were born to stand out." And now it's all unfolding exactly like that. The Sanders legacy isn't just continuing, it's evolving. The way SHEDEUR carries himself, speaks, and performs shows a level of polish and purpose far beyond his years. It's clear he's not just here to win games. He's here to build an empire. Between his growing social media influence, endorsement deals, and leadership off the field, SHEDEUR is becoming more than a quarterback. He's becoming a movement, a cultural icon in the making. And as the NFL season stretches on, the question isn't whether SHEDEUR Sanders can keep up the momentum, it's how far he can take it. Every week, the spotlight gets brighter, the expectations higher, and yet he looks completely unfazed. That's the mark of greatness in its early stages. Consistency under chaos. If the first few games are any indication, the Bears might have stumbled upon a generational talent, someone who could rewrite not only the team's history, but a piece of NFL history itself. Fans are already dreaming of playoff runs, primetime matchups, and maybe even a Super Bowl appearance. Things that once felt impossible now feel within reach. Whether you're a diehard Bears supporter or just a fan of the game, you can't deny it anymore. Something special is happening in Chicago. And it all began with a name, SHEDEUR Sanders, and a performance that left the entire football world saying the same thing. The future is now. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.